Welcome back, viewers. This is Politics Today, Hapa Science TV, your inclusion platform. My name is Jonah Simba. Our sign language interpreter in this section is Gideon Minor. 0111980384 is the number you can share your views on. Give us your views there. We have a mother of Gen Zs today, Judy Washira. Hi, Judy.
Hi.
Karibu tena.
Thank you.
Yeah, just before we went for the break, I had asked you something about civic engagement of our young people. But then over the break, you were mentioning to me something very sad, that during the demonstrations on 25th of June, some girls were raped, and that really touched you as a mother very badly. Could you ventilate on that? Just tell us.
It is so sad, it's so disheartening.
Right.
To hear someone's girl, a girl that a girl that has been, she didn't go out there to misuse herself, is raped by strangers. They have been running up and down in the streets, demonstrating for their rights. They had the right to do that. And then on their way home, some evil people just rapes them. That child, they're traumatized, so traumatized. Their low self-esteem comes in there, anxiety,
right,
anger, feeling like they no longer feel like they even blame themselves or the perpetrators. It was such a bad thing for the child and even for as a parent.
Right.
So bad.
I'm just looking at Sabasaba coming, and they have already declared again they are going to the streets. Is this going to make the girls not to come out? I mean, are you seeing the Gen Z girls now getting affected by this?
One thing I know is that they are already affected. They are even more frustrated than before. See, they went to demonstrate for their rights. They come back a different person. Their lives have changed. And there's a part of them that will be like, they can't do it again. There's a part of them that will even say, what else is remaining for me to do? What else? I'm already damaged. They might as well say, there's a language they're using that is not very pleasant, that they have nothing to lose. When I look from a perspective, my own perspective is, there are some that will even go back with a bang, let me call it a bang. There are some that will even remain and they are no longer the same again. They are frustrated, they need a lot of counseling. They need someone to talk to them.
Some of the pictures that went around on 25th of June, there was a policewoman. That's a girl. Yeah, that's a lady.
Yeah, it was a lady.
Yeah, who was actually attacked by the demonstrators. Yes?
Yeah.
And the person who saved this policewoman was a young man, a Gen Z.
Yes.
Was that a Gen Z or a millennial? But one of the demonstrators was a young man.
Yeah, he
protected the young lady. You just told me over the break that the young man was later beaten by police?
Yeah.
Tell me, what's your opinion?
The very man that tried and that he was trying to shield this person, she is a mother.
Right.
And I'm imagining this young man that was trying to shield her from being beaten up.
Right.
Felt the pain of a mother being beaten, and later, I saw the policeman beating him. I think they got confused of whether they were securing her, whether they were trying to avoid people from beating her, but I remember he was beaten, and he was so bitter.
Could that be attributed to the confusion of the demonstration, or do you think that was deliberate?
Yes, there was a lot of confusion.
Maybe even the police themselves by that time were panicking. They just didn't know how to react.
I believe they were doing it not in bad faith, because they just came in to help their colleague.
Right.
And I believe they didn't know exactly who was trying to cover this policewoman, sorry.
Mm.
And so, in the midst of things, even the person that was helping her was beaten.
Interestingly, there is a young man who was sprayed with the pink water. And he was interviewed, and he kept saying that what pushed him to have that courage was when he saw policemen beating young ladies. And that really moved him in another way. That, why are you doing this to the girl child? That tells me that even within the demonstrators, there is that feeling of the ladies within the demonstration should be protected a little more. Is that your opinion also?
That is my opinion. What is happening with these young children, young Gen Zs,
Yes.
young people?
They're children anyway.
Yeah, they
Yes.
youth. They are one. That is something we should learn from them. They have no tribalism in them. They are protecting each other. That is why that young man was so bitter when they saw the young girls being, I would say, being beaten or being mishandled.
Right.
And he came in to fight for I would call them the sisters.
Okay.
So one thing we've learned from these Gen Zs, they are one.
Okay.
They don't care the languages, they don't care the tribes, they don't care where you come from, they don't care your status, whether you're from a poor family or a rich family, or what we can see is they are one. That is why that young man was so bitter about the policemen trying to harass the girls.
There is a young man by the name Peter Kenyan. You might have heard of the name. Peter Kenyan is a leader of DCP. You've heard of DCP? Yes, definitely. Yes. A youth leader. During the 25th of June, it is alleged that he participated in organizing demonstrations in some places in Central, and the police went and ransacked his home. I listened to the mother, the wife of Peter, talking, and one of the things she said was that the policemen pulled a mattress that was holding a baby. I think that was Peter's baby. And they didn't care this was a baby. They just pulled it and the baby fell off. These are some of the experiences of girls and children in these demonstrations. Traumatic, you would say?
Yes, they're so traumatized. Can you imagine that young wife to this leader,
right,
DCP, seeing the child being mishandled in their own home, not out there in the streets, in their home? That is so traumatizing.
Right.
At the same time, the husband is taken away. They have ransacked the house. I think they're supposed to handle people in a human way.
Especially the girls and the children, or should we also say even the boy child, all of them?
If they're coming for someone from home, let them have the courtesy of they have not caught this person stealing or beating people. They should come in a manner that they will not disrespect the family.
So you would say that if they found a baby on a mattress, they should carry the baby gently.
But why would
put the baby aside rather than pulling off the mattress? Sorry, you're saying, but why?
Why would they ransack the house until where the baby is? If this young man was caught stealing or doing some, stealing, or he was caught with weapons.
Maybe they were suspecting he was hiding in the baby cot.
They caused trauma to the whole family, particularly the young child, the
right.
wife of this young man. I think they should have come in a way that is decent, yeah.
Right.
They get the person they want, but they should not invoke the whole family. To
Well,
the point of even throwing a mattress that a baby is lying on, an innocent child, that is trauma. How will that woman, that young mother, ever trust these people, the policemen?
Right, right. There's a lot of experiences. A young person spoke to me, and this person is with a disability, is blind like me. And we were just chatting about our experiences during these demonstrations. I told him my experience was the way I shudder being in town when the demonstrations are going on. But he could not forget when one leader, Jimmy Wanjigi's home, was visited by policemen, and he could hear was it the mother or the sister? They were saying, don't shoot, don't shoot. And they were lifting up their hands. He told me that as a blind person, he could feel that picture, and it has never left his mind. Are we getting people here now getting a little bit more traumatized than we think? This is someone who is not related to Jimmy Wanjigi at all. But it has never come out of his mind, hearing a woman lifting up her hands and saying, please don't shoot, don't shoot. Somebody needs to cancel Kenyans because Sabasaba is coming, right? Yeah. So much trauma. What is your experience as a mother? Are you traumatized?
I'm already feeling so traumatized because I'm even imagining what will happen if things were that bad on 25th. We don't know what will happen on Sabasaba, where the youths, they are still saying Sabasaba, they are going to demonstrate. And the government says that they need to change their ways of demonstrating. And the government feels that if this, even as people, the business community feels if these demonstrations are going to continue, we are going to ruin our nation, which is very true. Why can't we come together, address the issues that are making these young people to go on the streets? Can we have leaders that are going to sit with these people, listen to them, be patient with them, let them express themselves, and then they pick the issues that are so sensitive. They address them. Absolutely.
Before we went for the break, actually, I had asked you a question. Now I want you to tell me your opinion on it. There is the aspect of civic engagement of the young people. I would imagine this begins from a home setting where you involve a child, because there's always been a complaint, especially from family business angles. You find businesses falling when it's handed over to the young people. The panic, is it also in the political arena where probably the politicians or the people in leadership are feeling that if we hand this over to the young people, you know, they don't have enough capacity? What do you have to say about civic engagement? Somebody needs to engage the young people on the day-to-day issues. And is this the panic of the young people?
Can they be given a chance?
Yes.
They be given responsibilities so that the leaders can see how they're going to handle the job. Until they're given a responsibility, how will we know they can handle a job or a position?
Right.
Yeah. Do
you have any case study? I had a discussion with you some time ago, and you're mentioning to me a case study from Homa Bay. No. What was that case study you're giving me?
I have a friend of mine.
Right.
She put up a fish company here.
Right.
Worth quite some money, about 1.5.
Right.
He wants one of the children to run it. This, is it a girl, a boy? Is an educated person.
Right.
A graduate, I believe, yes.
Right.
And they're given the responsibility that business is put up for them.
For the young people, for the young person, yes.
Person feels, this is not what I went to do in school. I need to get a job of what? The degree that I'm holding.
Some white collar job.
Yes.
Right.
And from the perspective of the parents, this child has been in the Gen Z, she's been at home for long, and the parents think it's...
they're helping him.
It's helping this person to You put up a business for them so that they can grow themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But then their reasoning is, this is not what I went to school to do. I need what
So
I
it's-
went.
Mhm.
I need the career that I chose when I was going to school, and I did my degree. I did my master's. Here I am.
I would imagine they suffered loss.
Yes, what I would advise these young people is, before you get that job, that white collar job that you want, or before you get to do, if you are an accountant,
Right.
you want a job that deals with accounting.
Yes.
But here, you are being given a business, something to do with farming.
Mm.
Would you go and start off before you get the kind of a job that you desire to have? Because one, you will engage yourself as a young person.
Yeah.
You will be making money. You will be helping your parents. In the long run, this biashara will still become their inheritance, or it will be handed over to them. When it comes to
Yeah. Actually,
the leadership in the political
arena, right?
let us engage these young people. Let us give them responsibilities in the offices, and they should have people that are training them, so that by the time this person is retiring or this person is leaving the office,
Yeah.
this young man will have taken up the opportunity, the job, and they are able to handle it.
Yeah. Actually, some of these
Otherwise, there will be a big gap between the young people and the
the
old
old,
people.
yeah. In fact, the panic now for many of us and many Kenyans is what will happen come 2032, when many of the leaders that we know are no longer in the scene, or they are elderly. It is these young people that we are hearing that will be in leadership. But unfortunately, they are not getting that field experience. They are not getting the kind of internship, It's like no one is giving them the room to start exercising. And that's where the issue of handing over of mantles came. It's like when 2032 and beyond comes, we are going to have young people coming into leadership as governors, CECs within counties. They are going to be the presidents and the cabinet secretaries without experience.
Yeah.
That is the big challenge that we are having right now. And I truly, honestly buy your idea of engaging them,
Yes.
Civic engagement, right now, I don't know what your experience is, but when you look around our estates, the areas where we stay, when you call for people to come and clean the estates, it is these young people. The local market, you find a lot of young people. I mean, what is your opinion on passing over the mantle? What is your opinion? Are we doing it? I just want to hear that aspect of your mind.
According to the way things are, the highest percentage of the young people are out there with no jobs. The people in the office, most of them are in advanced age. And in due time, they will be leaving the office according to the rules and regulations of the Labor Department. If they leave before they have trained these young people, there will be a very big gap. There will be confusion in the parastatals or in the industries.
Yeah.
Because there is no person there is no advisor there. But if they were involved and they were trained, by the time I'm leaving the office, there is someone that I've already trained, and I'm comfortably leaving the office knowing that there will be a flow of the work. So I feel the percentage of engaging young people is low.
Okay. Now, we are coming from an angle of permanent and pensionable employments. You remember that?
Yes.
In fact, some of the doctors and nurses have been having their own strikes because of that.
Yes.
They want to be permanent and pensionable. Many of our parents, you and me, were permanent and pensionable.
Yes.
It's not so with these young people. Many of them are on contractual basis. Someone would do 3, 4, 5 jobs, you know,
Yeah.
and that is how it is. You know, this is like the new frontier. This is like the new working formula for the day. I don't know. Are we in trouble when we have so many contractual jobs? Is that the way to go?
I was also wondering, there was a time during my time, because me, I've been in the office, and I've been in the office for quite a number of years.
Right.
We used to get, after about 6 months, you get a permanent letter, a permanent job, a letter for you are now a permanent person.
Yeah.
You are pensionable. You have a medical cover. But with nowadays, it's taking longer than before. Most of the people that are employed, they are not
Permanent and
they are
pension.
not permanent and pension. They are on
Contracts. Yeah, actually it's
And I
contractual.
was also wondering what is happening. Is it that the population has grown and the industries are not growing? Otherwise, we're supposed to grow with the industries. We're supposed to grow with the, if it's a farm,
Right.
as it grows, people should grow. That is a question that should be addressed,
Right.
both in parastatals and private companies.
Right. And there's been a bit of demonstrations around many industries on that issue of contracts. Many people seem to be looking for permanent and pensionable, but the argument from the leadership is always that once you make people permanent and pensionable, then people tend to take things, you know, for granted. They are not as hardworking. Is that what you mean? Is that the same thing you share? You know, then they open up spaces for other people. I mean, is that the same thing you share? That permanent and pensionable, especially our nurses and doctors, they really are looking for that. And we hope they get what they're demanding for. But the argument has always been that, look, when we put people on permanent and pensionable, they are not serious enough in the office place. And then they lock, you know, many others out. Sorry, proceed.
I think for me, I hope that they are given permanent jobs, they are pensionable, so that they can also create for the people that are out there job opportunities. If they remain they are on contract, and the people that are coming out of colleges and they're waiting for those contracts so that they can take them over. So there should be a transition of this group. Obviously, there is that transition of the people that are retiring.
Right.
And then there is this group that is coming to take over from these people that have retired. What about these people that have been on contract? Why can't they get the permanent job so that there can be that flow of transition?
Right.
Why is it not happening? We cannot have all of them on contract. If
Right.
we have them, all of them on contract, what about them that are there out there waiting for even to get that contract job? There should be a transition.
Okay. Well, the Kenya Kwanza leadership has come up with the affordable housing idea to give jobs. Realistic way of giving jobs as we probably come to an end of this discussion?
Yeah, yeah, kinda. I can say that because if it's the people out there in the sites constructing the houses.
Right.
Those are people that are getting their jobs, even if it's on contract. At least for quite a number of months, you will be there.
Right.
On that site. But what about after the houses have been completed? Where will all these people go?
Right.
Yeah. Yes, they have created jobs, and we appreciate and we thank them.
Right.
But they're not permanent jobs.
So there's no job security.
There's no job security. After that, what happens to these people that were used to, even some of them even started families.
Yes, in 1 minute,
The
right?
houses are completed. They have nowhere else to go. They get frustrated.
Right. Okay. Last words as we wind up in 1 minute. Maybe your last words. Saba Saba is coming. Saba Saba is coming. What do you have to tell the Gen Zs?
I will tell the Gen Zs to be careful. I will not say it's not their right to demonstrate. If truly they want change in this country, one, we need to take care of the properties that is the people are destroying. And the genuine ones, the genuine Gen Zs, we saw them the first day when they started demonstrating. People were in their businesses and everything was flowing. They did not touch anyone's anything.
Well said.
Yeah.
Thank you. Viewers, that's all we have for you today on Politics Today. Just remember to be safe when you get out there. Do not lose your eyes on the ball. If you're asking for good governance, transparency, accountability, don't lose your eyes on the ball. And we ask that somebody should listen to this, that we all move forward. Remember, at the end of the day, we are advocating for the peace of the country. This has been Politics Today. Our sign language interpreter has been Gideon Minor. You can catch this discussion on Science TV. Just get there to the YouTube and check in there. You'll get the discussions there. And you can also follow me on Blind Jonah Simba. See you next week on Politics Today. Judy Washira, bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
For hosting me.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.